Let's just take a quick look around the Nolly X. You got your input gain, you have your output gain, you have your gate, which in this case, for in the gauge of the curse, -60, that's a very quiet -60, right? For that high a gain. Like that's neural DSP for you. That's really quiet. That's nice. So you have that, you have your gate, you have your transpose function. You can have your input mode, you can switch that up. This is, as you saw, where I was changing all the presets. And you have this doubler function, which is also interesting, which I can't use right now, probably because it has to be in stereo. Boom. So down here is where you can actually switch your amps, right? So here there's a connection between them. And as you connect, they have their own cabs set up with them. Right? That's your clean channel, basically. And this gets a, you know, your crunch. Yeah, just fun little crunchy tones. That was actually just the amp. That sounds so wonderful. I thought there was some compression or something there. Here's one of our high gain, options. Really, really solid. Really great sounding. And then this one is kind of like a little bit more muffled, a little bit more mid-heavy. A little bit more gritty, you know, very, very fun, really cool. We have your tuner here, really easy. You can actually have your live tuner down there. See, it's doing this thing down there. You can see it's showing me the actual tuning down there. This is where our pre-effects are. So it comes with this compressor, an overdrive pedal, a delay pedal before the amp, which is interesting for specific tones, and then a second overdrive pedal that you can mix and match and change. You can really do some more tone shaping here with this overdrive, but this one has a little bit more sort of a classic tube screamer sort of styling with this new addition here, this little bump being a little bit new. So those are our pre-effects. You can really dial in exactly how you want things, or you can just use the presets. That's kind of the beauty of this plugin, is that everything kind of sounds good. It's kind of hard to not have this sound good. You really have to try. Here is where we have our cab whole situation here. We have different mics that we can try out, as well as different angles for the mics. We can change the positioning. We can change the mic level. We can create room sends. We can really hear the sound of the room, which with lead guitar can be a really wonderful sound. It really creates a sense of space, which is really sweet, and you can dial that in, as you can see with the panner here. You can change your phase in case there are some weird phase issues. You never know. That stuff just crops up. And there's really nothing, a whole lot to say. You have your other, mics here that you can change. These drag and drop. Yeah, you can drag and drop them like that and really like dial it in as you might want to do. In that sense, you can kind of go through all your presets right here in these arrows there. And then after here, we have this sort of post amp EQ, post cabinet EQ, where you can just do some nice little dialing in. You can see here there's actually nothing going on, but if we go to some of these, like say the periphery style, you can see there's some dips here in the 250 range. That makes sense. Bump here in the 400. That makes sense too. This is going to be muddy. Cut that out, but this is going to be just outside of that muddy range. So bring some of the information we lost here back up here. It's kind of like, a tit for tat kind of move there. Then we also have these low pass filters, the high pass filter over here. Really solid. And apparently the cue here was really specifically made by Nolly himself and worked on between him and Durrell to get a really special cue for this equalizer that just has a really wonderful sound. You've been hearing it this whole time. It just sounds phenomenal. It's pretty wild. Let's hear what this periphery style rhythm sounds like with and without it. I remembered it after a while. So here's how it is without it. And then one more time with it. Yeah, I flubbed it a little bit at the end there, but you can really hear the EQ adding a lot of attack, but it's not like super noticeable. There is a level difference, so that's kind of unfair, but you could really hear where it's adding some polish to it. Really cool. So you also have these post effects. You can add delay and reverb. This would normally be in your loops, your FX send. This is just your regular delay and reverb. Like no notes. It's a really solid delay. It's a really solid reverb. Like, I have no notes about that sound. That sounds fantastic. I would maybe mix that to sound as you want. But, there's lead styles here that you can go. There's all the presets that you could hope for with this. So truly, this is kind of a no-brainer amp to go and get. Truly, go and get this. It's like $60 to $70 right now. It's on sale. The sale may have just ended, actually, but just wait it out. There's going to be another sale. I highly recommend picking this up, or pick up the equivalent archetype for the guitarist that is super inspiring to you, like Nolly and Periphery are for me. But the real reason why I got this, because I was happy with Bogren Digital, honestly, with the amp knob, but this transpose knob is really the reason I got this, because this right here is probably a good transpose knob like this, that's this clear. It's probably worth the price of the plugin in and of itself. There you go. That's all I have to say about that. So I was just playing a lot of riffs from my favorite bands, from Trivium, Periphery, Killswitch Engage. Being able to play at the level of your favorite artist takes a really serious mindset shift, but it also requires, understanding how practice works. And if you want to understand how practice works and how riffs work, you should check out my free training, How to Understand and Master Any Guitar Riff and Play at the Level of Your Favorite Artists. There's a link down in the doobly-doo and in the pinned comment. I highly recommend you go check that out if you were just like, I want to be able to play a little bit better. And you saw my playing and were like, you can play riffs that I can't, and I want to play those riffs. You should check that out. There's going to be an option to book a free lesson with me at the end of that training. You and I can get on Zoom face-to-face and actually, talk about whether or not we'd be a good fit, whether or not you'd like to work together. I still got some spots open, so act now. That's all I got for you. I just really wanted to share with you about this Nolly X new plugin from Neural DSP, the Archetype series. Have a fantastic whatever time of day it is for you at the moment. And, yeah, don't forget to be awesome. Peace out.